I'm going to show you how I paint my signs. I'm working on the mummy one right now. The paints that I prefer to use is this 94. The 94s are, it's a Montana spray paint, and they are of a flat luster. These are more of a gloss. The black does come in a gloss and a satin, but these are pretty much gloss, and the cap is pretty true to color. These cans are notorious for clogging, so as I use the cans up, I save the tips and then I soak them in a cleaner to try to clean them out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The store that I buy this from, they don't ship, so if you're not from Ohio, Bowling Green area, it doesn't even matter to know what store I get them from because they don't do any online sales or shipping. They do sell extra caps though that I do purchase. They're under $1. This here is an attachment, so if you wanted to use the special caps on like a Rust-Oleum can, you can. However, here locally, Rust-Oleum has come out with some new caps on their spray cans that you can turn the dial and get different effects. This cap here is not the biggest spray one that they make, but this one's called a fat pink, and this one is called a skinny, and I am going to show you how well those work as well. Sometimes even though I clean the caps out, sometimes they will still plug up on me or not work. So as I put them on these cans and get ready to paint and swap them out, you know, it happens, but I've been trying to save all the old caps. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the fat pink on this can. These cans have been shook for 2 minutes, and you really do need to shake them for the full 2 minutes. And even as you're spraying, stop, shake it, and keep going because it helps build up the pressure. If you live in a colder climate, you can also have a bucket of warm water and set the cans in that, and it helps the molecules, not scalding hot water, warm water. It helps the molecules in the can expand, and it helps it shake up a little bit easier. Just make sure you wipe your can off so you don't get water drip marks on your project. So to show you how big that sprays, that's a pretty big spray for this. I do have one that actually sprays a little bit bigger. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. It must be sitting in a bucket of cleaner somewhere, so that's okay. So I like to test spray everything out on a piece of paper because, again, even though you shake it to get it primed and going, I like to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint the entire thing blue. Now see, that one is spraying down there. It does have some issues going on. Again, I love the paint. The caps on them are horrible. They're very temperamental. And this is a cap that I've used before that I had cleaned out, so it could have been something that I did when I cleaned it out. Okay. That seems to be a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to hit it with this color here. It's called Avatar Blue. This cap is called a soft cap, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell when I spray it on the paper, but when it disperses out, it makes a really, really soft spray noise, and it goes a lot softer. Okay. So I am going to hold my can, I don't know, this is probably about 8-10 inches away, and just lightly dust it. And I'm just trying to create some nighttime atmosphere. And you can take the black piece and lay it on there, see where it's at, because there's no point in spraying where things are going to be covered up. But I do spray all sides of my boards. The edges have already been painted black. The back has been painted black. I paint the inside that gets glued together, the outside, because it's wood, it's porous, and I am really worried that moisture will get in there and ruin it, you know, and I'll have an unhappy customer. So just for my own purposes, I spray it off. Now these paints here, one of the good things about these Montana paints is they have excellent UV protection in them, and they're UV resistant, weather resistant, not weatherproof, weather resistant, and UV resistant. So I do like using these. Now I'm going to switch over to the black, give it a little shake, and just to add some shadow and see how far I'm away to some of the areas. Now I'm going to go back over with the blue again, and this time I'm using a cap. This is called, I believe this is the one here, yeah, this is called a skinny, and that projectile is a lot smaller. And that way you're not covering up everything that you just did. And I feel this still needs a little bit of light blue down in here. Okay. Now, to make stars, it is a really quick spray. So what I do is, and this can's almost empty, it's a, I don't know how to explain it, it's a quick spray, but you're going like really, I guess it wouldn't be quick, I guess short burst, and you're not pushing down all the way. So I don't know if you can see that or not. There you go. So I'm just doing quick little burst, and I'm not pushing down all the way, and that makes it kind of spit out. If you're not getting that effect, go slower. You know, the slower you go, the bigger the droplets you get. Okay, and there's a big one right there, but that's okay. It can become a planet. I think that is it for that. And I am going to move over to the skulls or the mummy and show you how I paint that. Real quick, these cans run about $8, maybe a little bit more. These for me at the local art store I get them at are about $8.88. The Rust-Oleum at Menards is like $5.88 and $6.98, I believe, at Home Depot. And if they come with the fancy cap, it's $1 more, which I have found that you can take this off and pop those caps off of the new cans and put them on here. So I save them, so it saves me money as well. But I'm not going to swap out the caps with the Montana brand, but I am going to put this on here, which came on a different Rust-Oleum can. It was a can of clear, and I just saved it. Actually, I'm gonna just keep going the way I am in case you don't have that in your area. Okay, so I pre-tested spraying this. I'm gonna do the Mummy with the Rust-Oleum because some people might not be able to afford the other ones or they don't like it. But one other thing I wanted to tell you about the Montana is it really doesn't run. It's really hard for me to get runs in it, and Rust-Oleum runs really easy for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is lightly spray paint this white. And you can tell I'm pretty far away. If I do little bursts on the small pieces, it'll push them all over and then you'll get that spraying. So it's better to kind of do this. See how the coverage, I don't know if you can tell, but the coverage is a little bit better than doing those little sprays that I was just doing. I just wanted to show you that there is a difference. And sometimes you can feel it as you're painting, or you can hear it that it sounds different. Just stop for a second, shake it up, and then keep going. Now, you'll have to read the back of the can, but there is a time frame where you can repaint, and I will look that up when we're done and I'll explain that. So here is the gray, and this was pre-shook off of camera or pre-shaken off camera. I am going to go farther away, and I'm just lightly dusting it to kind of give it some dingy look. See if that helps you see it a little bit better. Now I am doing the little squirt spray because I want the white to show through. So I don't want a perfect pattern. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I still want the gray and the white to show through. If I feel that I have a little bit too much gray, I just then do the burst again because it does that spray pattern, and then the gray shows through. The color I'm using is the satin white, and I am using stone gray and granite. So the granite is pretty dark like this, and again I'm just hitting like one side of this just to kind of give it some depth, some shading. So this is his face and everything's blowing this way, so I might do a little bit more on the one side versus the other, something like that. And you just kind of play, you know, around with the paint and figure out what works best for you. I'm going to add just a little bit more lightness there as a highlight. And I had the black piece down and lifted it up off of this, so all of this goes in order the way it is on the board, so that way I can kind of look at it and see and go, okay, this gets lighter, there would be a lighter piece here maybe on the top of that, and everything down below would be darker. But I hit almost really far away and just let the mist kind of carry over. And again, I'm hitting this pretty far away because I just want it misted. And you can build on it to a certain point and then just let it go. Okay, so on the back of the can that nobody reads, I am going to try to explain this. It says apply 2 or more coats in just a few minutes apart, which you just saw me do. You know, really quick time frame apart, and I applied, you know, 2 or more coats. Then it says, allow more time at cooler temperatures, dry to a touch in 20 minutes, or handle in 1 hour, fully dry in 24 hours. Apply a second coat or clear coat within 1 hour or after 48 hours. Apply clear 2 to 3 light coats a few minutes apart. So I did this, okay? I painted it. It's been sitting here. Now, every time you paint it, so if I just went and sprayed some more, that clock starts over. A few minutes later, I spray some more, that clock starts over, okay? So you can extend the painting time, the clock starts over. But when you go past an hour, that's that sweet spot. So it even says that I can apply clear within an hour. So in 20 minutes, I can come back and apply clear. If I don't do it before that hour window, then you have to wait, you know, over 24 hours and read the can, because some of them might be longer, for it to cure, and then you'll have to start over. It says that it is it says 1 hour and fully dry in 24 hours. So if you're waiting overnight to hit it with another coat, and then you go to hit it with another coat and it crackles, you're waiting too long. This isn't like painting your house, painting your walls with latex paint. This isn't like using acrylic paint. This is spray paint, so this is completely different. I also had contacted Rust-Oleum, and because I was having that issue, and I still get it once in a while because I get a little antsy and I will go to spray something and I'll get that crackle. But they also explained this to me, and they said, you know, unfortunately a lot of people don't read it or they don't understand it. So I hope that helps. You know, look at the back of the can and remember that you have that window to recoat. And thank you very much for watching.